करेंसी आज के दौर का सबसे बड़ा डिप्लोमेटिक और इकोनॉमिक हथियार है। We have all seen how US dollar is the global reserve currency of the world and how all international trade is done in US dollar. In fact, USA has been using this to its own advantage by constantly pushing their debt ceiling and devaluing their currency and making themselves immune to their own financial mishandlings for the last many decades. Hello, my name is Abhinav Trivedi and you are watching Detangle with Mint. USA also uses its financial muscle on international trade. There is a system called SWIFT, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication System. If you need to transfer money overseas today, what would you do? You would simply go to a bank and transfer the amount to the other person's bank account. This has been made possible by SWIFT, which is a huge messaging network that banks and financial institutions use to facilitate transfer of cross-border transactions accurately and securely. SWIFT is controlled by USA and its allies, and whenever they are not happy with a country like Russia, in recent case, they impose sanctions and strip them out of SWIFT. So countries like Russia are looking for alternatives to do trade in their local currency. Of lately, so is China. China has been pushing its currency yuan as a preferred mode of trade. Post Russia-Ukraine war and sanctions on Russia, a lot of international trade with Russia is being done in yuan as we speak by many countries of the world. Coming to India, we are an emerging economic superpower and we too have been pushing for trade in INR, that is rupee. हाल फिलहाल में to push the use of INR in international trade, the RBI allowed invoicing and payments for international trade in INR. इंडिया ने वॉर के बाद से अपना क्रूड ऑयल के इंपोर्ट का सबसे बड़ा शेयर रशिया को दे दिया है। इस वक्त हम रशिया से बहुत बड़ी मात्रा में क्रूड ऑयल इंपोर्ट करते हैं और इसका पेमेंट रुपये में हो रहा है as we speak. तो क्या सिर्फ रशिया ही इंडिया से रुपये में ट्रेड कर रहा है? Not exactly. Who is India trading with in the domestic currency? फिलहाल the government said in the parliament that it has started trade in the rupee with neighboring countries such as Nepal and Bhutan. Besides, Minister of State for Commerce and Industry Anupriya Patel said rupee trade mechanism has been initiated in the case of trade with Russia too. 2 जुलाई तक आरबीआई ने लगभग 34 एप्लीकेशन अलग-अलग रशियन बैंक से अप्रूव की हैं to open Vostro accounts with 14 Indian commercial banks. She also added that Sri Lanka has included rupiah in its list of designated foreign currencies and that 8 corresponding banks from Sri Lanka have been opened with respective authorized dealer banks in India. Now, before we move forward, what is Vostro account? Complication पे मत जाइए, आसान भाषा में समझिए. Vostro in Latin means yours and nostro in Latin means ours. A Vostro account will keep Russia's holdings in the Indian bank in Indian Rupee. Now, if an Indian trader wants to export goods to Russia, the Vostro account will be debited and the amount will be credited to the exporter's account. Simple भाषा में बंधु, Vostro बैंक अकाउंट वो बैंक अकाउंट होता है जो कि दूसरे देश के पार्टनर बैंक का अकाउंट अपने मार्केट में हैंडल करता है फॉरेन करेंसी में. अब इंडिया के थोड़े इंपोर्ट पर्सपेक्टिव से समझ लेते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इंडियाज ICICI बैंक और हांगकांग के HSBC बैंक एक दूसरे के साथ वॉस्ट्रो अकाउंट बनाते हैं. तो ICICI और HSBC बैंक के बीच में सारे इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट ट्रेड ट्रांजैक्शंस जो कि ऑफ कोर्स बिजनेस करेंगे वो रुपये में होंगे. ये रुपया ICICI बैंक इंपोर्ट करते टाइम HSBC बैंक को देगा और एक्सपोर्ट के टाइम HSBC बैंक अपने इसी रुपये वाले अकाउंट में जो कि एक्सेस बैलेंस है इसको यूज करके इंडिया से कुछ भी एक्सपोर्ट कर सकता है. ये बैलेंस ऑफ कोर्स हांगकांग और इंडिया के बीच के एक्सचेंज रेट पे डिपेंड करेगा. So how many Vostro accounts are functional as we speak? India is broadening access to Vostro accounts. The government told the parliament that New Delhi has allowed banks in 22 partner countries, including Russia and the UK, to open Vostro accounts. RBI's permission is required for a special rupee Vostro account. As per RBI, the bank willing to open a special rupee Vostro account for the bank of the partner country, यानी कि बाहर वाला बैंक, they should have a good level of business resilience and financial health. So, what does it mean for India's rupee? Rupee is yet to gain global acceptance, भैया. The way dollar or yuan or euro has. Considerable push is required to achieve that. Opening of Vostro accounts is one of them. So, what are the challenges? A lot of international banks don't want to open Vostro accounts with Russia, fearing US sanctions on their businesses. So international banks operating anywhere in the globe are staying away from this business with Russia. Therefore, dominance of the US dollar is the biggest challenge, and this dominance is likely to continue for some time. The mechanism works best if both the countries do not have trade imbalance, which means अगर हम रशिया से इंपोर्ट ज़्यादा और रशिया को एक्सपोर्ट कम करते हैं तो हमारे लिए ट्रेड डेफिसिट यानी कि इम्बैलेंस हो जाता है। इंपोर्ट बिल इतना लंबा और एक्सपोर्ट बिल इतना सा तो इम्बैलेंस हो जाएगा ना। इंडिया's trade deficit with Russia touched 43 billion in 22-23, largely due to purchase of Russian oil. This has resulted in huge piling up of Indian Rupee with Russian banks, which they are unable to use. Bottom line is, to gain global dominance of rupee, there also has to be a trade balance, which means that India needs to export more. हमारे goods and services की ज़्यादा requirement होनी चाहिए दुनिया भर में, तभी जाकर के INR will be strong. We need to sell Make in India more. Remember, Make in China. This is all from this episode of Detangle with Mint. Please like, share, subscribe this video, subscribe our channel, and please let us know what you think in the comment section.
Should I stock up on some global brands?
Diversify investments with global stocks. Invest.
Diversification is interesting. Should I invest in global markets?
You only progress when you ask better questions. Mint. Think ahead, think growth.